Okay, so Luis Rojas is the new manager of the New York Mets, and Joel tweeted yesterday, Rojas is just 38, but actually has a pedigree like managers once had. Played in the minors, managed a long time in the minors, coached in the majors, knows the Mets system and the infrastructure. He was a manager in the Mets farm system from 2011 through 2018. This is me adding. And then quality control coach in 2019 for the New York Mets. So this is a hire. See, I think of it this way, Joel, in the Brian Snicker, Mike Schultz mold, but he's actually only in his 30s, so it's like the blend of that with Rocco Baldelli because he's close to him in age.
So I would actually argue, even with the late date of this, that he's less risky than Carlos Beltran. Like, I thought Carlos Beltran had two possible outcomes: really great at it or really bad at it, and that there would be no gray. I don't think Luis Rojas could be really bad at it. He's managed hundreds of games. He might be a net negative, but it would feel like down here, right? Like kind of thing. He knows how to manage it. And in the Post today, I wrote a column about how much he is similar to Buck Showalter when Buck Showalter became the manager of the Yankees for the first time. Buck Showalter never played in the minors, never in the majors. Managed only in the New York Yankees system. Was a coach for 2 years for the New York Yankees. Was named the manager during an incredible crisis for the Yankees. People forget that the Yankees could ever have crisis, but George Steinbrenner was suspended and that they had the worst record for 3 years in a row through 1991, 89, 90, 91. So bad, in fact, they had the 6th pick in 1992. They took Derek Jeter. That's how bad they were through those 3 years. And he came into it, but there was something about him. Like, everyone thought Stick Michael would go with a veteran guy like Hal Lanier or Doug Rader. And there was just something about Buck. There's something about this guy. Only played in the minors, only managed in the Mets system, coached for the Mets last year. People forget, Buck got introduced to a team where he had already managed, among other people. Hensley Mullins, now the Mets bench coach, but he managed Hensley Mullins. He managed Bernie Williams. He managed Pat Kelly, like a lot of the guys who he inherited, just like Jeff McNeil, Pete Alonso, like Jacob deGrom. Luis Rojas managed all these guys. There is a familiarity there. This is like an old-time managing hire, as opposed to, he comes from a great Royal Baseball family like Aaron Boone, right? But Boone just became a manager out of the broadcast booth. This guy, the son of Felipe Alou, the brother of Moises Alou, the nephew of Jesus and Matty Alou, is like somebody who would have gotten hired in 1992. By the way, they did. Buck Showalter.
Yeah, and they keep it in-house. We're a month away from pitchers and catchers reporting. That's important. You don't have this severe turbulence going on within the organization. He's been prepping for spring training. And let me add this from Felipe, because he commented, the Mets themselves were not punished. They weren't in this scandal with the Houston Astros. Carlos Beltran was a part of that report. So these words from Felipe Alou on his son. The man is good, and I believe the baseball man is good. It's not only that I believe, I know. He is a clean-cut person, and I believe the game nowadays should find more young men like that. The game needs them. I know he will be a clean manager who respects the game, especially in this time period, Rustin. That held a lot of importance to me.
He definitely. I mean, Felipe Alou did say he respected Carlos Beltran. He did say that he likes him as well. But I think you mentioned Beltran. Like, is this a riskier hire or a less risky hire than Beltran? I think there's one area where this is a little bit riskier in terms of, like, what is important with a modern manager, right? They have to be able to communicate with the front office, communicate with the media, communicate with the players. And that was one area where we kind of knew Carlos Beltran could do that, right? He did that as a player. He had respect of the media. He had respect of his other players. So I think there is an element that, like, Luis Rojas is going to have to find his voice. He's going to have to find his voice with the media. He's going to have to find his voice with communicating with everybody in that room. And we know the players love him, but there is a little bit of an element of risk, I feel like, where he's going to have to learn on the job.
So far, so good, player reaction. Of course, you're going to get that. And he's worked with the team already last year on the Major League squad. I'll throw this in also from Josh Satin. We saw some cool tweets from Pete Alonso, who's his AA manager, and Alonso said he throws a great BP. Stroman yesterday with some praise for him. But Josh Satin, who was in the Mets organization a while back, said, when I met Luis Rojas in 2008, he was driving vans for minor leaguers from the hotel to the field in spring training. Whether you like the hire or not, he started from the actual bottom and did everything asked of him the whole way. Amazing journey to get this opportunity. A story like that, how does that hold in the clubhouse when you bring in a guy like this?
Yeah, well, it resonates because you know that he's been through every experience, and he's been there from the, started from the bottom, and now he's at the top. And to go through all those moments as a player, you go, oh, he doesn't get what I went through, but the truth is he did, or he does get that because he did those same things. And to be somebody who managed